Well, hello. Um, Today we're going to talk about kind of some of the pathways to get into cybersecurity and things you should look at to try and understand where you want to go. So, when I think about getting started in cybersecurity, I think about certification, jobs, and what resources are there to help me. Okay, so getting started. I really like this. So I'll link to all this down below. So this is the November 2020 update, but this is from CompTIA Partners. Certifications that can validate expertise in certain fields. So you have cybersecurity, infrastructure, cloud, IT service management, data AI, software development. Okay, so this is a good thing to kind of understand. Okay, beginning, intermediate, advanced, and expert. Okay, so here are the different things. And they also have other certification bodies. They highlight theirs, great, but they have other certification bodies as well. So this can get you started to say, hey, is it really cybersecurity I want, or do I really like more of infrastructure? Or am I more a management person? Or maybe these other areas are things I would like. But this gives you an understanding of where you'd want to go. Now, these are very broad, very broad. That's where so CompTIA has some good certifications, but SANS does as well. In fact, if you look here at this, all of these that start with a G are probably related to SANS and JIAC. So if you look here, SANS, they have theirs as well, where they have, hey, the skills roadmap, security awareness. You can find courses by job role. This is all of it. But here's kind of the baseline that they talk about in the different areas, and you can expand these, and it has all their courses and the roles. So there's a lot of information that SANS has, and SANS going to be more specific. So for example, they have careers, and I think I clicked on one of these. It's the coolest one right here, the 20 coolest jobs. So if you don't know what you want to do and it's leading cybersecurity, hey, maybe take a look at this article. Because it'll say, hey, here's a threat hunter. It'll tell you a little bit about it. It'll tell you why it's important. And then they'll list the courses that you can take. So let's, just for kicks, let's look at one of these courses. And it says, hey, advanced incident response threat hunting for digital forensics. Cool. You can look at the syllabi, the certification, and hey, you can even look at the training and prices, which one of the reasons this is kind of expensive for the on-demand training. Or you can do it in person in London or in person in Vegas. Okay? So SANS is kind of expensive. They are their own university. You can get a degree as well as certifications from them. Well, the certifications are from JIAC. But anyway, I don't usually. Most people starting in cybersecurity can't afford to pay that much for a class. Okay. But they do have a lot of good resources like roles. So, for example, if you look here at roles, and I mean, I picked digital forensics, and you can see the different things that are here. In fact, so malware analysis, for example, is one that I think is great for people who are, for example, in computer science. But there's lots of different options here. And the more you look at these and you learn, hopefully you can identify what you want to do. And then you have to kind of, on top of that, as you learn about these different roles and functions, you also have to be thinking about where do you want to work? What company do you want to work at? What locations? Where do you want to live? Because you do have, I mean, jobs are just part of your life. It's not all of your life. So where do you want to live? What else do you want to do outside of work? And I can't really talk about this without really talking about, so DoD approved jobs. Okay, I talk about this often in my videos. I'm going to keep drilling into it because this helps you understand what a big company, so this is the U.S. government, Department of Defense, requires for certain jobs. Now, these are job categories. These are not as specific as this. Okay, a threat hunter would well, I'll try and point out where it would be as we go through these. But so these are just approved baseline certifications. Now there's a process to go through and get approved. And some companies have been falling out. Others really work to stay in here. Okay. So IAT, which is, I believe, Information Assurance Technical. So this is the technical side of information assurance, level 1, 2, and 3, and the certifications. IM would be Identity and Access Management, and you have 1, 2, and 3. You know, I better double check that. Let me just, and I'm wrong. So that's Information Assurance Management. So I always, when I see IAM, my brain defaultly goes to Identity and Access Management. It's Information Assurance Management, which IAM, Identity and Access Management, would be a subsection of that. Okay, so IASAE is, I believe, Information Assurance System Architect Engineer. So these are people that are building stuff. Okay, or identifying how stuff would be built would be better. Identifying how stuff should be built. Information Assurance System Architect and Engineer. And then you have the CSSP are Cybersecurity Service Providers. So cybersecurity service provider, it's an analyst, cybersecurity service provider, it's on infrastructure. So these are identifying issues with cybersecurity and how things are set up. Cybersecurity service provider, incident responder, auditor, and manager. So this level, so when we talked about, I said I'd come back to threat hunter, for example. Threat hunter would probably be a cybersecurity analyst, okay? Would be more of a threat hunter. You have, yeah, it is possible that some of that would come into this level as well, the Information Assurance Technical. Okay, so what we've talked about is different paths through cybersecurity, looking at broad and even more specific. We've introduced you once again to CompTIA and SANS, and also the DoD approved baseline certifications. I hope that this is helpful. I can't really help you individually with identifying what companies you want to work for, or what part of the world you'd like to work in. Those are things you really need to do, work on yourself. But I hope that you do well in the start of your path down in information technology, whether it be infrastructure or cybersecurity. So have a good one. We'll see you in the next video.